Welcome to Sacred Sensuality. Thank you all so much for coming to this channel and listening to this message. I do hope that it resonates. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all of that good stuff if you feel that this message has resonated with you. All right, so I want to jump right into it. I don't like to waste time. So you guys, for some of you, from what I'm seeing, this can either be someone who has recently entered your life, meaning within the last few months, or this has been someone that could give a little bit of that in and out energy, or that you guys just don't know exactly where to take whatever this is that you guys have this situation. So from what I'm seeing here, there's some tension. There's a lot of tension between you and someone else. You could be a person of great influence, or either this person could be. What I mean by that is not necessarily, yes, well, it's true, but not necessarily, like YouTuber, TikTok, social media influencer. You could just be a person who may be known in the community, or getting recognitions at work, or just really upgrading your life in a way that is good for you. And this person sees that. They don't necessarily take it all the way as a threat, but it's almost as if they're saying, where do I fit in all of this? I don't necessarily get a feeling of jealousy, and once again, as you all know, that's not something that I necessarily will rule out. But from what I'm seeing here, you could be a person that is totally single, or you have just recently become single, whether it's from this person or someone else. And it's like, with this influencer status, you could just be a person who's just like, I am just going to start living my life in a more upgraded type of way, in a way that is more satisfying to me, and going on a new journey, which could be a multitude of many things for many of you guys, including, simply, just taking better care of oneself, going to the gym, investing more so in yourself. And it it feels as if this person is becoming really emotional over that. Yeah, I do have the tears card here, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're crying. It could just simply mean that your moves are making them think. And the thinking that the thoughts that they're having are thoughts of, where do I play a part in any of this? I'm hearing like, is there room for me, like in your life, because you're doing some of these great things and I'm just here, So but ultimately this person does want to have a really honest, straightforward conversation with you. I'm feeling that they want to let everything off of their chest, just get it all out in the open. This could have been a person that held back their feelings, held back their thoughts from you. For some of you, this is a person who has hurt you in some type of way. What that hurt is, I don't know. Of course, that will require some type of personal reading, but there's some type of hurt that happened. I feel like whatever hurt that did happen, for those of you who do resonate with this part, it was unexpected, and this could have been something that shook up within you, that caused you to want to, just invest more so in yourself. From what I'm seeing here, it's like, I feel like there's a storm brewed inside of you that just said, hey, like, I've got to get myself together. And while you were probably mad, upset, and hurt, and all of that other stuff, you're just like, I'm not going to focus on it too much. I'm not going to dwell on it too much. Things happened, yeah, I got caught up and in the crossfires or whatever, but I have to move forward and move on with myself and upgrade, basically. Now, this could be a person who could be in some type of debt. Now, debt does not necessarily mean like a monetary debt, although it could be simply them just owing you just for your time, you being there, you being a part of their life, the commitment that you've given to them. Let me switch my microphone for a second. Yes, the excuse me, you guys. Oh my goodness, I'm trying to get this together. but it's more so feeling as if the commitment that you've given to them, they may feel that now it's their turn and they have to give it back. They have to repay you. But I don't get repay as in like, it's like a duty. It's more so like, this is something that I want to do for this person because, you know, maybe you were there for this person in a hard time for them, whatever time that could have been, emotional, physical, you know, in a mental type of way, just being there for them or just being a source of support. This person does, they do recognize that your efforts were something that they probably took advantage of. Now, they know that you have a very strong intuition. They know that your heart is also connected to your intuition. And although your heart is connected to your intuition, they know that there could have been times, and even you may know this as well, that not necessarily you chose to ignore red flags. It's more like, I'm choosing to give this person a chance to correct themselves, to right their wrongs. And they didn't do so. It's like, I'm getting more so like, once again, they took advantage and they knew that you were there, you were a good source of support. And it's like, um, their fear is something that held them back. And their fear could have been just of your intuition, of the fact that, you know, maybe you saw things in them that others didn't see. You took the time to get to know this person, or at least was trying to. I have here, I need to free myself from fear and doubt. I am a caged bird. So this could have been a person who just let fear run their lives, you know, which is really sad. And unfortunately, even I can identify with this part of the reading as well. It's really sad because these are the type of people who, they have big hearts underneath all of that. They just buried it. Their life experiences, the people that they've dealt with, it, they were disappointed probably a lot in their life and even up into their childhood. And so, because maybe you were a person who did, you know, try to get close to them or want to get close to them, they pushed you away. But this person also understand that um, you have a side to you that's not just serious and all lovey-dovey, that you are a fun-loving person. And not just that, you have many different sides to you. From what I'm seeing here, some of you guys are very multifaceted. And this is something that fascinates this person. Like, they see the fact that you are a person who likes to, even though you have these different sides of you, you could be a person that's pretty much fairly balanced for the most part. You know, there's a time and a place is what I'm hearing. You know, when there's a time to be silly or serious or, you know, romantic. And this is not something that they're used to. This is gonna be a person that was used to chaotic situations with people. Um, but right now, just so you know, this person, oh, and if you're seeing the number 11 a lot, this message definitely resonates with you. But this person is right now going through a lot of consequences of their actions. A lot of them simply could have just decided that I'm not going to make a decision. I'm not going to make a decision because I don't know what it is that I want, even though really deep down inside they do know what they want. They're just letting their fears guide them. You, on the other hand, stand your ground. Stand your ground, keep defending yourself, because ultimately this is a person who has not, they aren't decisive in what it is that they want to do right now. It's like they're coming up with a plan. And it's funny that the Seven of Swords, as soon as I started shuffling, the Seven of Swords came out, which is how some readers typically read it, depending on the cards that are surrounding it, as lies, deceit, and other things. But sometimes it could simply just mean I'm coming up with a strategy, I'm coming up with a plan to it's a mental thing. Like, how do I get my thoughts in order to make my actions be a real follow through, you know? So you're right now in the period of just, you know, just continue to defend yourself, protect yourself. You know, with the Seven of Wands here, you may be a person that's just tired, just, you know, of dealing with this person, or just dealing with this with different faces, same people, basically. Keep your intuition on point, because like I said, this person knows that you have a deep intuitive nature to you, and this could be something that scares them. You know, I feel that you know that, hey, I like this person, I love this person, or whatever you may feel, whether that is to depart from this person for good, um, give them a second chance, or, you know, just jump in it all the way. Like something for some of you, you may have known from day one that this is a person that I want to be with. I see myself only with this person, like in that way. I do have the Lovers card here. Now, it's funny that this is typically the card of twin flames, and in my other section of cards, the twin flame card actually did come out. And you guys, and some of you guys may already know how I feel about the whole twin flame dynamic. But you guys have a very strong spiritual bond. This spiritual bond, the cord that's between you two, it's almost as if this person is connected to your intuition. It's they know that you know, put it like that. They know that you know, yet they still fail to make a choice, because for them, it's like as long as it goes unsaid, as long as it's not discussed, it's avoided, then I don't have to make a choice. This person, um, they feel this way towards you because you could be a person, like I said, very multifaceted, very passionate about yourself, the world, not afraid of change, like at all. I do have you coming out as the Queen of Wands, not being afraid of change and trying new things, which like I said, that goes back to you wanting to upgrade your life. You're both admired and intimidated at the same time by this person. It's your confidence. It's the fact that you have the nerve to go out and do the things that they're so scared to do. And once again, it's not that they're jealous. It's just that it's like, well, if you have all those things, then why do you want to be with me? What do you see in me? It's like, it's almost as if their self-esteem is being hit. And unfortunately, I have been seeing this a lot in my readings and my personal readings in particular. Um, the masculines. I don't care if you're feminine who identify as masculine. The masculines, because some of you guys are waking up, and I'm so, so proud of you masculines if you're listening to this. Some of you, you're going through some of the things that the feminine had to go through when they started waking up, and that was the confidence issue. That was a self-esteem issue. So it's like this person who can possibly be a masculine, they're just intimidated by the things that you can do, but yet they admire it. They like it at the same time. They like the fact that you're independent and you may not need anyone in particular, and that you having them in your life is a privilege, you know. But this person, they're really trying to hold on to you. They don't really know how to hold on to you in a way that is healthy. So once again, because of their insecurities, they could be a person, whether they've expressed this to you or not yet, this is a person that is a little bit possessive over you. And you may find that their possessiveness, because the way it shows is for different people. So for some people, being possessive could simply just be always wanting to be on the phone with you, always wanting to text you. Um, and that's their way of always focusing on them. You know, that's a form of possession. So you could have put up a boundary, like, you know, either I don't want to do it this way, or I don't want to do it this way at all. Meanwhile, they're hoarding all of their feelings for you, all of the love, this passion that they have for you, this admiration underneath it all. Once again, this goes back to their insecurities. It's like they could be afraid that you're going to leave them behind in some way, which is, you know, it's pretty sad, because I do feel that for some of these people, this is a person, particularly a masculine energy that I am picking up on. This is a person who may have abandonment issues, or um, not necessarily control, although once again, we won't rule that out, but more so like abandonment issues, more so like a selfishness to them. Like they could be really selfish when it comes to you, you know. to the point where it could be a little nerve-wracking for you. You may see that as a red flag, but you may also understand that this, because of your spiritual intuition and your emotional intuition, you may understand that this is a person who's probably dealt with some things in their past or in their childhood, that maybe they've come across people who have, abandoned them or hurt them, or they just simply don't know how. Some of you, it's funny I get the dead card, but yet I also get payday. What I take payday as is, this is a person that could see you as like the jackpot. They see you as the jackpot. You are very valuable to them. You're a person who, um, you aim for success. You aim to evolve, and it's like, once again, that's something that turns them on, but yet they are terrified of it, because it's like you're equipped with the inner knowledge of doing better in life, of upgrading yourself once again, your resilience. Some of you could have shared stories with this person, but this person may also see you as resilient, that you don't let things that happen in life or happen to you don't become a victim of it. You just decide that I'm going to be better. It's like your relationship with self. Now that I could feel that this person could be a little bit jealous of. And that's because they don't know how. And it's kind of like they're looking at you like, how do you do that? Like you've been through all of this stuff and maybe not even half the stuff that they've been through, meaning that your issues could have, honestly, and I don't like to compare, you could have went through so many more different things than this person. And it's like they're looking at you like, how are you still standing? How are you still a nice person? When they don't understand that this is something that you chose to do. It's just as simple as that. Like, I went through life, I went through some BS, and I am choosing to not become a part of the problem, so to speak. Now, I do feel that in a couple of days, or possibly a couple of weeks for some of you, the timing is fluid, that this person is going to step forward. I do recommend as advice, and I would not be considered a good reader or a coach of any kind if I were to say, go out on a limb and contact this person. Absolutely not. I don't think that'll be helpful for you or the situation. Let them sit right now in whatever uncomfort that they need to sit in. This could be something that is good for them, because you don't want to interrupt, number one, their karma. If they have karma that is coming to them, don't pay for someone else's karma, because ultimately they're going to resent you again for that. And that's a whole nother layered story. But you also don't want to interrupt whatever lessons, whatever things that they need to learn about themselves. I see more so on the lighter side that this is something about themselves. You need to be out of the way at this time, because it's like when you two are around each other, the tension is just, it's so strong that you pull on each other. You could even feel this tension in between you two. Once again, I'm seeing a cord between two people. Like your cord could be so strongly connected to each other. In particular, I'm honestly seeing like a purple cord. I forget what the color purple stands for, but I'm seeing like a purple cord, which I do believe signifies intuition and psychic insight. So you two could be like sending each other messages on a psychic level. You may feel, once again, them pulling on your energy. Occasionally when you're thinking about them, you're pulling on their energy. But this person is so freaking nervous to step your way. Like, they don't know what to say, they don't know how to say it, they don't know the delivery. This could be a person that's constantly typing and texting and wanted to, text messages to you, but then they stop because they're like, what if I say the wrong thing? What if I get rejected? What if they change their mind? um but I do feel, I did get the card, which is a little weird for this reading, because I didn't really pick up on a person that is overly infatuated with sex. Once again, we're not going to rule that out. When I see Kinky Ways, the Oracle card, in a reading, I take that as a person who has unorthodox thinking, whether that is you or that person. What I mean by that is, although this person could be someone who has not just an unorthodox way of thinking, just of doing things in general, like this could be a person that really likes to live life on their own terms, which could be a reason why they're so selfish, is because their peace means a lot to them in so many ways. And the same with you, that they're not used to sharing that space with someone else, even if it's just mental space. They're not used to that. But think about it. When a person is kinky, right? They're typically a person who they're considered sexually open. Now, in this case, with this reading, I'm taking this as a person who is open to change. Now, whether they apply that change, I don't know. Once again, that would have to be a personal reading that you would have to get from your favorite tarot reader. But this person, I want more, but I am scared. That's exactly what I said earlier. They want more with you, but they're scared. You intimidate the hell out of this person. And I don't even think that, you're trying to. It's just that that's how you naturally are. You naturally exude those Queen of Wands energies. Um, this could be a person who may be afraid that they're unable to keep up with you, honestly. And whether that's mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, on whatever level, financially, this is a person who is just a little bit scared. And I feel that's because for some of you, it's just your standards. You're probably not a person who don't really give too many chances or whatever. And that could be another reason why they're so nervous and scared to step forth, to say anything, is because they feel like, there could be some rejection that is going to be underneath. And once again, I did get the twin flames card, so we can skip that part. But the bond between you two, the feelings between you two, whether they were expressed or not, are very strong here. You could be, in a little bit of confusion, not understanding where you stand with this person. I don't feel like for some of you, you're necessarily just sitting and thinking about this all the time and just dwelling on it. Although, once again, we won't rule that out, because sometimes it does happen to people and it's natural and it's okay. I do take this more so as, um, when you do think about this person, when you do think about the issue at hand, it's more like it could have made you think about your worth. It could have made you think about what was the reason for this whole thing. Just unsure about, was this a lesson? Was this my person? They're confused too. They're confused too. But their confusion is really grounded. It's rooted in their fear. Um, they are afraid that if they do say something, I am afraid that your feelings for me are not mutual. It confirms everything I've been saying. This is a person who is afraid of rejection. I don't know what kind of rejection they've experienced in the past, whether this is a person who was used to rejection in general and they're just like, well, I already know he or she is going to say, yeah, I don't want to deal with you, and I'm just going to, there'll be no point in me saying anything. Or if this is a person who is just afraid of your rejection. You do have kind of like a pretty high ranking in their mind, whether you know it or not. And then I have something to say. There's something I really want to share with you. I'm waiting for the right time to tell you. Once again, that goes back to me saying that this is a person who, they know they want to do something. It's just how, when. Um, and I think it's because they could be they could be overthinking everything. They could be overthinking past conversations, like trying to find out if they miss clues, or you could be finding out if you've missed clues or red flags or green flags, or I really gets more so like they're realizing that you were not there to play around with them. You were not there to hurt them. And it's like now they're seeing it as, okay, this was a genuine person who had good intentions in my life. And because I misjudged him or her, I don't know how to approach this because this is a person ultimately who proved me wrong. But this is a person who is really trying right now. They don't want to interrupt your stability, but they do want harmony with you ultimately. I do have the Emperor card, so this is a person who is really trying to step into the divine parts of their masculinity. They're trying to get control of themselves, get control of their thoughts. And right next to it is the Temperance card. And once again, that's about balance and patience and harmony, getting peace. This is something that they do want with you. They do plan to come forward. And it's funny because as I was shuffling, I said, yeah, and I said out loud, I see you want something with this person, but I don't see an apology. Ironically, the Page of Cups flew out, which is all about apologies. So this person is working, they're trying to work up the courage to find the right time to apologize to you. They think about this a lot. You are a person who holds a special part of them, whether this is in their heart or their mind. You occupy a space in them that's precious to them. And so it's like I feel like I can't move forward with him or with her until I apologize for, whatever my actions were. And I'm feeling that the actions could have been just, whether they ghosted you, they were scared, or, just slowly faded off in the distance, started pulling back. But this person is going to come in wanting commitment with you, wanting to work towards something, building something with you, wanting to dedicate themselves to you and for you to dedicate yourself to them as well. So it's like now I realize my mistakes and I just want to do better. So I do see that this could be something for some of you that is happening within the next couple of days or either possibly on the 31st. What I see happening afterwards when this person does decide, if they decide to come forward, um, you two looking ahead, you two, and this is, of course, as a person, if you want to deal with again, they're looking ahead. You two could have built or could be trying to build more confidence in each other. And I'm hearing like confidence of us. Is something worth this? Are we, are us, are we worth enough to each other to go forward? Because ultimately, you've experienced the loss of each other. You've experienced the abandonments. You've experienced the unexpected, pulling back, disappearing. You've done all of that with this Five of Pentacles here. But I feel like this could be a test that could be coming up as well. So that this could be something that needs to be worked through. Honestly, I do feel that this is something that is going to take time for this person because they're so used to being abandoned or feeling like they have to abandon someone else before they get abandoned. Like their abandonment issues may run really, really deep, guys. And I apologize. I understand. I really, really do. The only thing I could recommend in those type of cases is, sometimes it depends on how much patience you have. If you have enough patience to sit through with this person and, keep going, it's going to take a while. And when I asked how long it could take a good 9 months. Honestly, that's the card that I pulled. It could take up to 9 months before this person is fully free from their abandonment issues. Or you could take the other route, which is, hey, you've got to sort through your stuff. I have to upgrade my life the way that I have been, and I want to keep upgrading it. I cannot sit here and wait for you while you deal with those issues. Um, I will be here if you get back, or I may or may not be here when you get back. But I really want you to deal with this. If I'm somebody that you can see yourself being with, I really think you should deal with this. That is also another mature way of dealing with it instead of, being so angry and not having compassion for this person. But I do see that some of you guys may be taking a break, whether that is for those of you who have decided to take um, to use your patience, or whether that is some of you who have decided to sorry, my cat's looking at me. I gotta feed him in a second. Or but whether that is some of you who have decided that, come back later. Come back later. I'll give you a chance later. There is a break that is coming for you guys. But I do think this conversation needs to be had. There is some truths, there's some feelings that need to come out. Ultimately, when it's all said and done, I do see this person coming back. And the way they're coming back, they're going to be a little bit more logical. They're going to be a little bit more emotionally detached, very serious, but that does not mean that they may lack feelings. Okay. Now, for some of you, this could be an entirely different person who's coming in. Personally, I don't like the King of Swords energy. It's a good energy if you want to get this energy in a business reading. You want to get this this energy when it's time to go to court or dealing with anything legal. You definitely want to get the King of Swords. But when it comes to love, the King of Swords, he can be very detached. And that's because he has to think fairly. So although this person may come in a little bit more thinking fair, I feel that they would have veered a little bit too further off and kind of pushed their feelings down a lot. And that will be your time when you are needing to be in your Page of Swords energy, which is watching the consistency, watching if this King of Swords energy about them is just, a little bit, it's just for now, until they get their emotional footing back. Because ultimately, this person did come out as the Emperor. They do want to, um, the Emperor, he's all the kings. He's the King of Pentacles, Swords, Wands, and Cups, right? So I feel that this will be a time for you all to just watch how this person communicates, watch how they interact with you. If you require someone who is a little bit more loving and expressive and affectionate, then I don't see you guys continuing forward with this person. But for some of you that don't mind, a more logical, detached person, because you may also have some of those traits as well, then I see it that you two are ultimately, you'll be great communicators together. You'll be two great minds that work together. So I don't see necessarily a negative or necessarily a positive. It just depends on what you want ultimately out of this person. But in between time, I see the tension will be something that is going to it's gonna fade at some point. But for right now, there's going to be a talk that needs to be had between you and this person. And that is your reading, you guys. Thank you so much for visiting Sacred Sensuality. I appreciate your time, and I do hope that you like, share, and subscribe. Bye bye.